Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Ransom and Rome Streetz collaborative project entitled Coup De Grace. Let's get to it. Alright, so this is the highly anticipated collaborative album from the elite level Jersey MC Ransom and the underground favorite Rome Streetz coming out of Brooklyn, New York. Now, the two had linked up on a few songs over the course of the last year, and that served to generate a healthy buzz. So when the two announced this upcoming album, fans were pretty ecstatic. Both artists have very skilled pen games, but obviously Ransom is the more experienced of the two since he has been putting work in a lot longer than Rome. But both MCs have had a successful and prolific 2021 run. Ran is now starting to finally get recognized by hip hop media, and Rome Streetz just recently linked a deal with Griselda. But getting right into this project, Coup De Grace, it contains 11 tracks and lasts approximately 37 minutes. The features include Shay Noor, The Game, Lou from Paradise, and Tyrant. As far as the production goes, the two enlisted the following producers: V Dawn, Streezy, Wavy to God, Mayor, Lord Sear, Animos, I Am Military, Stack Mullah, and Nicholas Craven. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opening track, No Remorse, is a dark and hard-hitting way to kick this album off. I like the eerie orchestral beat that has strings, synths, a guitar, and pianos. Ransom sets this off with his calm but deadly delivery. His words have that commanding presence where you feel compelled to hang on to every line like he has you at gunpoint. Here, the two rap from the perspective of men who have lost any sense for remorse. It's like they're both in competition to see who can be more heartless and savage-like. Like when Rome Streetz raps, no remorse for the opposition. A Glock shot will twist your top, turn the op into an opposition, serve powder to the preacher like I never had religion. I also like when he said, made thousands off a phone that I had to flip the screen. What I hold in the cig will kill you like nicotine. As a whole, it was just a very strong opening track that set a fierce and cinematic tone right out the gate. Track 2, All I Know, has a stripped back boom bap beat with this shrill pitched guitar or synth. The instrumental is serviceable, but the two definitely managed to make it work. Especially Ransom, who had a flawless verse in my opinion. His penmanship here is on level with mid-90s Nas or Cool G Rap. As he states, all I know is corners and staircases, the bare basics, cognac with some beer chases, so crack for some mere wages, no static from square neighbors, broke addicts who share razors, weird favors like borrowing clothes if we near ages. It's just fire wordplay and fire multisyllabic rhyming. While I like the rapping and the hook on this one quite a bit, I can't say that I was in love with the instrumental, but fortunately the two got the job done regardless. On Rooftop Sermons, we get a much better beat, this time from V Dawn, who supplies the two with a dark and soulful backdrop. The swirling strings managed to give it that 70s blaxploitation feel. This one is top-tiered street gospel. The bars from Ransom seem to resonate like he's reading from a religious manuscript. He raps, not too many blessed with this corner vision. Don't give them knowledge, give them more religion. Poor decisions. Mama couldn't pay, so they told her pray for the Lord's assistance. They rid our souls, so we bought some more Christians. While Rome Streetz eerily reminds us, a gunshot is an omen. If you omit, they pay a visit in a low tent. My theory is you lames on the low end don't give a fuck what your tribe called you. You cornballs get no wins. So I definitely dug the low end theory tribe reference. But yeah, from a production and rapping standpoint, this was a phenomenal track from the album. The following record, Claudine, also produced by V Dawn, is another standout. I mean, it's easily the best track on the album as we get some stellar storytelling on top of a soulful and flute-laced beat. Both Ran and Rome trade bars in a Ray and Ghost or a Nas and AZ-like fashion. They tell a grimy and haunting street tale about a heroin addict named Claudine. Rome and Ran really excel at painting a movie-like picture here. I would consider this to be a peak storytelling track for 2021. Rome raps, "I seen her go from college student to prostitution. Her life fucked up now and nobody got solutions." Whereas Ransom menacingly adds, "This shit is shaky. We should not pursue this. Stop the music. Rock produced it. Shorty would put us on the cops' to-do list. One of her ex-chicks was restless. He won her neck slit. She took him for a diamond necklace. I think she signed a death wish." I also don't want to forget that Shay Noor makes a dope appearance as well. So shout out to Shay Noor for being on the album. Yeah, overall, it's a fantastic storytelling track. It's pretty evident that Ran, Shay, Rome, and V Dawn understood the assignment. I would go as far as declaring this to be a 5 mic song. Track 5, Farewells, is just an interlude that includes a scene from The Wire where Marlo takes out Proposition Joe. Is set to a somber soul sample. Right after is their first single or first drop from the album entitled Pray for the Weak. Now, I know this song generated a lot of praise on social media, but honestly, I wasn't blown away by the production from Laura Sear. Sure, the rapping from everyone, the game included, was great. But by the way folks were talking, I assumed this was on the level of the Purple Tape, Hell on Earth, or even It Was Written. But for me, that just wasn't the case. However, I did like the lyrics, and it was interesting that Ransom and Rome were able to collaborate with the game. I mean, I feel that's pretty big. I know I'm probably in the minority with my opinion on the beat, which is cool, but I couldn't seem to make myself love it. The subsequent track, Jet Fuel, has a smooth and jazzy keyboard beat from Animos. The instrumental itself is cool, but I feel they made up for it with their top-notch lyricism and energetic flows. Ransom raps, "In the future, the scientists will have my abilities cloned, get rid of these poems, an ex-drug dealer with the snap of a finger, I can make a fiend spend his infinity stones." So you can tell that Ransom is pretty into the Marvel stuff. This was a song that grew on me, as I recall initially not loving the production, but the two raps so well that I ended up digging it. Afterwards is the moody, silent Murderers. This track is built around a dreary soul sample. At the beginning is a clip from The Wire where Avon wisely states, "See, the thing is, you only got to fuck up once. Be a little slow, be a little late, just once. And how you ain't never gonna be slow, never be late." I always thought this was deep advice that I tried to apply to my own life for real, because, you know, the golden rule is don't get caught slipping. But back to the actual song, Rome Streetz had a dope verse, but I particularly dug his following line. "I sold Paul Kane before my life was fabulous, turned my street dreams to reality, I was adamant." Then there was Ransom's clever simile. "Prison made a dude want to cry, don't want to see these tears, just know I'm dreaded like Stevie's hair." What follows is Dark Love, which contains an ominous and suspense building beat. It's surely music to be murdered by, and it's perfect for a Halloween weekend release. Rome sets this off with a chilling but boastful verse. A line that caught my attention was, "I was in the weed spot counting pink 50s, flicking asses. Felt like I was made for the mic like old Pippin passes." Ransom was rapping in a different scheme and using the slower flow, and he was dropping some callous and streetwise bars like, "Never had love for the weak, they always see danger in living." Track 10 is the Nicholas Craven produced Bandoleros, which has an eerie Spanish guitar and vocal sample that matches perfectly with the vibe and the title of the track, Bandoleros. Lou from Paradise opens it up with a comedic and braggadocio verse, which was cool, but I didn't think his style necessarily fit with the more serious criminology flavor that Ransom and Rome had going on. Therefore, I feel he kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. The other guy, Tyrant, who went last, didn't leave a big impression on me either. But the good news is both Ran and Rome Streetz destroyed this track, especially Ransom, who had a flawless verse. Ran's a hero to those Scarfaces, paid killers, and bandoleros holding guitar cases. I'm on a level above what is beyond greatness. So this had a dope loop from Nicholas Craven, and I loved how Ran and Rome both killed their verses, but I honestly would have preferred if Benny or Spesh would have been on this, or even Cool G Rap instead of the other guys, if I'm keeping it 100. Then the album wraps up with Death Becomes Life. It's another morbid soundscape to close out the album with. While Ransom did his thing, Rome Streetz' verse actually stood out the most to me. Here, he said, "Always knew the game was dirty like a rusty prison shiv. Got it by any means. I feel that my options was limited. I popped off because you wouldn't prosper being a timid kid." I really have no complaints, as I feel this was a solid track to end the album. Overall, I give this album a rating of 4 mics. On this project, Coup De Grace, both Ransom and Rome Streetz delivered in bringing fans a strong, collaborative album that showcased their chemistry and ability to push each other to be even greater. Their lyricism was vivid, cinematic, and just razor sharp overall. From a lyrical perspective, Ran and Rome are probably the closest to that mid-90s G-Rap and Wu-Tang sound that we are gonna get nowadays. That being said, as great as the rapping was throughout this entire project, I didn't think the production was always equal in quality. Sure, there were some dope beats like on the tracks No Remorse, Rooftop Sermons, Claudine, Silent Murderers, Bandoleros, and Dark Love, but some of the others weren't as interesting. So on social media, I've seen people declaring this as the album of the decade, or that it gave fans that classic Purple Tape feel. But what I feel these folks are forgetting is that the Purple Tape had flawless RZA production. Even if we were to compare this to Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, we have to remember that that had 5 mic production from Havoc. You could honestly just listen to those albums for the instrumentals alone if you had to. And for the record, I'm only bringing up those 90s projects because it's already being done by so many people, so I feel it's fair at this point. Still, despite the minor issues that I had with some of the production and maybe not loving the guests on Bandoleros and possibly even wanting a little more back and forth between Ran and Rome, this project has some really high highs, and it's still a really good album at the end of the day that I think met most people's expectations. My favorite tracks include No Remorse, Rooftop Sermons, Claudine, Silent Murderers, Dark Love, and Bandoleros. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Rome Streetz, Ransom, Coup De Grace, 1.